Hi Divas! Welcome. I hope you guys are all having a terrific Tuesday. Mine is going fabulous so far. I've been super productive. And I'm really excited to do this live. It is one I had done a long time ago. And unfortunately, the live was deleted. So, we're going to do it again. Let me go ahead and just make sure my camera's set up. Oh, I just realized I came in here with no water. At some point, if I start coughing, I will need to walk away, go grab some water, and come back. But hopefully, this won't take too long. It is a bit of an assembly. I do have stuff kind of prepped. But I'm super excited for day 2, countdown to Christmas. If you're watching this on replay, hey, Hershey. Let me know that you're watching replay. I know that I'm popping on at a random time, but I'm super glad to be here and live. And just trying to get the Diva chain updated. And paste. Copy and paste. Can I copy and paste today? There we go. Okay, so got that on the Diva chain. So excited. This is one of my favorite things to do. And I have, I make these and I sell them. So this is the perfect time to do this video. Put some lotion on my hands. Because I have a live, I have a lot of these to make for some orders that I've gotten. Oh, I forgot. Okay, this might be contradictive. I meant to put sanitizer on my hands first. I always like to put sanitizer on my hands because I'm touching things that people will touch in a bit. Usually put in their mouths. So I got lotion and sanitizer on my hands. So this is going to be a home decor kind of project, but it's also going to be an edible home decor kind of project if people choose to eat them. Super excited about this. Like I said, I've done this in the past. I have upgraded it a little bit. Hey Sharon, hey Chris, welcome. So I'm not going to be using all these DSPs, but I kind of just want to show you kind of how I get set up. I don't have one to show you because I actually sold out. I need to make more of these. And so what you'll need for this, I'm going to be using both liquid glue as well as a hot glue gun. You can do it without the hot glue gun, but it is not as sturdy. Just trust me on that. Then you need 14 pieces of a DSP, whatever you want your tree to be. I think I'm going to do, I don't know which one I should do first. Should I do the white with berries or the cherry cobbler with gold? What kind of tree do you want to see me make first? And then I choose one that is going to be the trunk. And you'll need 4 of these. So I'm going to count these out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because 4 of them need to be the trunk. And then I want to do one of these cherry cobbler-ish ones first. So you guys tell me which one you guys want me to do. And that's the one I'll pull for the tree. You will also need a piece of acetate that is about 1/4 by 2 inches. I'm going to pull that out. And 2 stars. Oh, I'm also going to be using glue dots. Just thought about that because that's how I have to adhere my stars. And of course I can't open this baggie with the stars because I have lotion on my hands. Ha 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 ha. I have a bunch of stars pre-punched / die cut out. White with berries. Okay, we're going to do white with berries. Perfect. We'll start with that one. And let's see. I just need 2 stars because I'm going to glue them back to back. There we go. And then we're going to need a piece of cherry cobbler paper. These, oh, and then I also need this is a coaster. I believe it's 4x4. A 4x4 coaster. We're going to be putting some DSP on that. I haven't chosen the DSP for that one yet. And then we're going to need a sheet of cardstock, and that's what we're going to get these pieces out of. Now, I don't know that I'm going to use these pieces. They're already prepped, but I am going to show you kind of how I got these pieces. and the cutting, because I have to make a bunch of them anyway. So I'm going to close this. Yes, I do recycle my egg cartons like this. That's what I do. And then we need Hershey Nuggets. Now, when I get my Hershey's Nuggets, I get them at Costco. I get them in this, I'll show you. I get this big giant bag from Costco. Right now I'm working with like 2 bags. And I sort my chocolates out. Sort all of them out into individual baggies. And then I count them because I need to see how many I have of each. That's just the way I do my system. Okay. And the one I have to be really careful of is this piece right here. I always tend to lose my acetate piece. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it on a piece of, let's put some mint tape around it so I don't lose it. You need 14 for the tree and 4 for the trunk. So basically there's 3 layers to this tree. I'm doing the top layer in the toffee, the middle layer, which is 3, the middle layer with 5 pieces, and then the base and the trunk are going to alternate with the almond milk and dark chocolate, kind of. So they get a mix. They're going to get 5 and 5. I just like to mix up the chocolates. You can do whatever you want, but I like the color schemes to be the same on each tier. So, well, yeah. So there we go. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to start with 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4. I'm going to wrap my chocolates first, and then I'm going to show you how I get these pieces set up. Okay, and then we're going to assemble. Okay. So I'm going to grab my trunks. 4 pieces. And these, you guys have seen me wrap Hershey Nuggets before, but I'm going to show anybody that might have not. These strips are 3 by 1 inch. I'm just going to fold it over. Now, typically, when you guys have seen me do my Hershey Nuggets, I do not glue this piece to the candy. For my tree, I do, because I don't want it to wiggle. But you really just want just the littlest dot of glue to hold that down, because you don't want glue in your candy. Okay, nobody's actually going to see it, so it really doesn't matter, but you don't want glue in your candy. And really, I want the flap going that way, because I am right-handed, and I'm always going to try to glue this side in first. That's just my preference. Now this paper is very slick, so I have to kind of hold it down for a second. Oops, and I do want it centered. Just gotta hold it for a second. This is probably, well, I shouldn't say it's not the most time consuming. And I could have pre-wrapped these, but I want you guys to see in real time kind of how long it takes to make one of these. And when you get into your groove, if you pre-cut stuff ahead of time, it's not too bad. You just get into a groove. You can do this while you're watching TV, because it really doesn't take a whole lot of concentration. You just have to make sure you don't get glue inside your candy. Okay, so there's my trunk. Now I need 14. I guess I don't have to count those out. I know there's at least 14. Now, all of these are just going to be my treat. I see, like, this one's kind of funky. I don't like that. Dark chocolate. I will chuck that. My husband gets to eat it now. He will be happy. If they don't look nice, I just don't use them. Okay. And you guys see, I just put a very minimal amount of glue. I wish I would have pre-wrapped some of these so I wouldn't have to have wrapped them all, but again, I'm making lots of these, so. And I just like to choose a really pretty paper for this. I've actually done these in all different like pastels, and I've done these for craft fairs, and they all sell. And if I do pretty paper, if I do pastel papers, if I did some really like retro-y looking ones, And they all went like hotcakes. Like I said, it doesn't take, I want to say maybe it takes like, no, I don't even want to guess. We'll just see. We'll see how long it takes for this. Oh, did I put glue? See, this is what happens if you don't remember to put glue down first. Let me do that again. Because, oh, I just glued that backwards. Oops. That's okay. Nobody's going to see. This is going to end up getting glued again. There we go. If you don't glue it, these can slide. And for Hershey Nugget treats, you want them to slide. But for the tree, you don't. Because the tree, they're going to be standing vertically. And so you really do not want them to slide. So, yeah, you definitely want to get glue on both sides. Just not crazy amounts. This one's going to be pretty. I don't think I've ever done like a whitish one. So this is going to be super pretty once it comes out, I'm sure. And then you can even add extra bling to this once it's all decorated. Okay, somebody remind me, once I go to start die cutting this pieces out, when I show you out of the full sheet of paper, somebody remind me to plug in the glue gun, because we will need a glue gun. Or I use a glue gun, I guess. I shouldn't say you don't have to have a glue gun. I choose to have a glue gun because for me, it's sturdier. I know a lot of people don't like to work with glue guns because you have to be very careful because you get those little stringies, but at the end of the day, you just cut the little stringies off. It's going to be okay. I've never had anybody complain because they saw a little white stringy. That's a lie. I just have somebody ask me if it was a spider web. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. I didn't really have that happen. Just thought it would be funny. So, hey Sharon. Hey Debbie. Welcome, welcome. We are getting ready to assemble a 3D Hershey Nugget Christmas tree. So this whole Christmas tree was inspired. A while back, there was a fad where they were making Hershey Nugget cakes. You guys remember that? And people would use like the inside pieces of a tear tape and like old embellishment containers to shape that cake up. And that didn't sit right with me because you can't consistently reproduce that if you don't have that many empty containers. If you're not a hoarder of garbage, you know, some people think that's garbage. I mean, I do hoard empty containers, I'm not going to lie. But some people throw those away because some people aren't hoarders like me and actually know that it should go in the garbage can or the recycling bin. So I wanted to be able to recreate that without having to rely on recycled products. So I played around with measurements and figured out how to do that out of DSP, which is what I'm going to show you how to do here on this live. I was going to do this as a class, and then I decided I just wanted to share it with everyone. Merry Christmas to all my divas. I did not create a PDF tutorial. So if you want measurements, you're just going to have to listen as I give them. I could create a PDF tutorial, but if I do that, then I'm charging for it. Because that, I feel like, is the bane of my existence sometimes. Creating PDFs is what I mean, I make them because I know they're very useful, and I like having them as well. But I think that's the hardest part for me, is creating PDF tutorials. PDF cut prep list. Going back, typing it all out. I don't know. Just crafting is fun, and sitting at a computer is not. Can anybody relate to that? I'm just saying. Okay, so I have one more, and I'm going to have some extra of these, which is great. I like having extra. So when I have extras, like if I cut some and the paper ended up with some extra pieces, those are the ones that I go and mix and match. And then I make Hershey Nugget sleeves out of. So they do not go to waste. They get used in one way, shape, or form. And I forgot to put glue on the inside of that. And And my little dog is scratching at the door, of course. So let's let her in while I set really quick. And then we're going to cut some cardstock. Okay, did you want to come in, little mama? Did I forget to check if you were in here before I started? Sacrilege. Okay, now that I have all my nuggets set up and my trees are good, I'll move those to the side. Sharp herder. Now I'm going to show you how I got these elements. Now I used, where are my other pieces apparently? I left them in the container. All of these pieces come out of one 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, by the way. Okay, so these are our layering pieces for our tiers of our tree, and these are going to be the supporting pieces for the 3 layers and the trunk. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I got these. I'm going to layer these up first. Put this aside. Now I will still need a piece of 4x4 DSP, and I'll figure that out in a second. Move these aside. I'm going to bring in my cutter. And maybe move some of these chocolates out of the way. Hopefully I don't drop any of them. Okay. And I need a sheet of cardstock. So I'm going to take a sheet of cardstock. Here we are. And I need to make sure I have my scoring tool somewhere near me. Yes, no, maybe, of course, when I want it, I cannot find it. Sorry guys, I'm having technical difficulties. Story of the Diva's life, right? I bought this scoring tool that is like a super bright color so that I wouldn't lose it, and you guys, I lost it. Okay, when in doubt, I will score it manually with the score tool. Okay, that's really... Did I drop it on the ground? Let me just make sure I didn't drop it on the ground, guys. Because I really don't want to lose that because it is super cute. Now I wish I knew where it was. Check one more spot in case it fell behind here, which it might have. Oh, or did I stick it in the... Nope, didn't stick it in there. Okay, guys, I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm just going to use a score tool. Okay, 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Oh, plug in my glue gun. Thank you, Chris. I'm plugging in my glue gun, or attempting to. Let's plug it in the right direction. There we go. Glue gun plugged in. Oh look, found the score blade. It was underneath the glue gun. Okay. This is an addition. I just ordered this off Amazon. It's got removable. This thing is so cool. It actually has a removable attachment, so I can put a blade in there too. But really, I have the yellow blade, so I'm okay with that. I'm going to pop that back in. I just thought that was so cool. Okay, so I'm going to, with my 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper on my 11-inch side, I'm going to make a cut at 6 inches. Save this piece. We're going to use that. Okay. Now I'm going to take my score tool and I'm going to score at 1, 3, and 5 inches. Still on that 6-inch side. 1, 3, and 5. I'm all about trying to do things efficiently and quickly if I possibly can. Okay, now I'm going to go back and I'm going to cut at 2-inch strips. 2, and another one at 2. I now have 3 strips, and I'm going to fold them in half and glue them together. I'm going to add glue. I'm just going to show you with one because I already have the other ones prepped. So I'm not going to take more time with that. just going to make sure those are glued all the way down. Oops, that doesn't matter that I smushed that. Okay, and you should end up with 3 strips. I'll finish these later with one of my other trees. Okay, so now I should have 3 strips. Then I have this extra piece, right? That is going to be for my layering pieces. And basically, I want 3 layering pieces. So this is going to be the base of my bottom tier, the base of my middle tier, the base of my top tier. And then this is going to go on top of my top tier to hold up my star. So we're going to pretend we ran that through the die cutting machine. And this is what we end up with. Now you can use your deckled circles. You could use your Spotlight Nature circles. You can just use regular circles. You just need a variation of 3 different sizes. I would play around with these a little bit once you get your chocolates set up. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that to the side because I'm not going to worry about running those through right now. But all of that came out of one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. You do need a piece that it's about 2 by 2 to get 2 stars. I don't know where my other one went. Probably lost that one too. But that's okay. I can, oh, there's my other one. And then your 1/4 by 2 inch piece of acetate. Okay. The one thing you will need to prep for this really, you have one that is ridged and one that is circular. For the circular one, I'm going to cut a slice. And I'm going to use my coaster because nobody's going to see where I'm cutting on this, so nobody's going to notice. I'm just going to make a little slit in the middle of this to prep that for my star because I really don't want to lose this acetate and I want to get this part out of the way. So I'm going to take that acetate and I'm going to pop that in the middle. This is the top. This is the bottom. And I'm just going to see as far as it goes to one edge, but not all the way over. And then I'm going to pinch it back. Literally that simple. Now we're going to use some tear tape. Or glue dot if you want to use a glue dot, but I'm going to use tear tape. Just because I'm about to use a lot of tear tape. I'm going to glue that in place. Grab my pokey tool. Oop, make sure your tear tape is not hanging over. And again, I'm just going to hold that down. And grab some more tear tape. We're going to glue these two together. Mostly I just do this right now because, like I said, I do not want to lose that acetate. It's the piece I typically lose most often. And then I cut a whole bunch more and then I find the original ones later. And then I'm just going to glue that to the top so the pretty ridge pops out. Ta-da! Now I'm going to put my star on here with glue dots, but I'm not going to do that till the end so I can see kind of where I want my star to hit on my tree. But at least these will now not get lost. Okay, now let's take a look at prepping those strips. Okay, we are going to take tear tape. Now if you have thicker tear tape, great. I'm just going to use regular tear tape. I'm just going to go all the way across the middle. I personally like to do 2 strips. You can do it with 1 if you want, but I like to be nice and secure. I'm just going to go all the way across. This is just the quickest and most efficient way for me to do this. And I'm all about being time conscious, right? Especially when I mass produce these. So normally I don't do these one at a time. I cut all these pieces at once. And then I just go up a whole strip as many trees as I'm making. Give that a good press. up. Now I'm just going to snip off the excess. And let's go throw that in the garbage because it's now sticking to everything. Let's let it stick to the garbage again. Once you get those, all these elements, it's going to go pretty darn quick. Okay, I may have plugged in my glue gun too soon because it's already hot. So I'm going to unplug it. Once I get these Hershey Nuggets, I'll plug it in again. If it's not ready, then I'll create the base. Okay, now this is how your Hershey Nuggets need to get glued. This is important. You have your 4 for your, actually I'll do it here. Your 4 for your trunk. And then you grab the 3 that are going to be your top tier. Those are going to go on one strip. Then you have, this is our middle tier. This is why I do these in different colors too, because it helps. Ooh, that one did not. I missed some glue there. That's okay. We'll just go ahead and add a little bit more to that one. So again, 5 for your middle tier. And then you should have 6 for your bottom tier. Okay. So really, if I was doing this tier-wise, yeah, I'll show you guys in this aspect. Bottom tier, middle tier, top tier, and your trunk. Okay? That's how we're going to start. Now, I like to take this and give it a little bit of a run through with my bone folder before I adhere the chocolate, just to kind of break it up a little bit. Now, will I end up with excess pieces with tear tape on them? Yeah. Am I worried about that? No, not in the least. And you're going to take this and you're going to just line the first one up nice and tight, and then really get this as close as possible to the next one. And what I like to do is I like to put my finger here so you can see that they're flush. Give it a good press down. Flush, really good press down. This doesn't really take too long once you get into the groove of things. Now I'm going to take my scissors. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to fold this over like so. And I'm going to cut so that it's a little shy of one of the nuggets. Don't you love my precise measuring? That's it. I just wanted it a little shy of one of the nuggets. And then this is going to stick to this. And now I'm going to give my nuggets even some more pressing against that tear tape. And I'm going to kind of pinch and kind of give it a little bit more of a, almost like a manual crease there for each individual piece. This will help have it more round, and it also helps keeping it from pushing against itself to kind of want to pop off the candies. You want to have them stay there beautifully. Oh my gosh, I missed the chocolate. That could be problematic because that needs to be 6. Okay guys, hold on. I don't know if I can fix this. I'm going to try. I have never done this before. Okay, I've literally never done this before. Huh. This is what happens when you're on camera. So, if you ever do this, now we'll see if the Diva can fix it. I was like, why does this look so small? It looked small because I was short of chocolate. Did anybody catch that? Was anybody like, you're missing a chocolate? It's gonna be okay. I'll figure it out. I'm pretty good about fixing things. Okay, so we're gonna, that piece that was left over, thank goodness, we're gonna reinforce that. Oh, Okay, we're going to add that extra chocolate. Give it a good firm press. And you see that I have not pulled that tear tape backing off. And again, we're going to repeat that. Try that again. And hook that together. Oh, safe. Okay, give that a good press. Okay, that looks better. This is our bottom tier. That will end up getting glue gunned to that. Put that to the side. Okay, who's laughing at the Diva right now? I'm laughing at me. I'm glad I was able to save that. So that was kind of a good thing that I did that on camera, because it allowed me to show you what to do in the event you accidentally do that. Again, I'm softening up the paper a little bit. It just helps. We're going to pull these back. And again, lining up that first one. And then just keep on going. I'm going to go a little bit faster with this now. Now you do have to try to stay straight. Don't go too fast. Then you won't be straight. And again, we're going to push that over. Pinch. And cut. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm counting my chocolates this time to make sure I have them in the right spot. Now I can actually do this a little bit of bending too beforehand. That's easier. Kiss those together there. And again, pinch, pinch, pinch. You really want to make sure that tear tape is sticking. Now, could I have done that with liquid glue as well? Yes. For this one though, because I do so many, it's just so much quicker to do tear tape. And I've never had one fall apart yet, so, I mean, at least not before I was eaten. And this is what I'm saying, once you get your circles, then play around with whatever dies you have to see which dies are best for your, for yours. Now for this one, I'm going to just put all the chocolates down, and then I will make an executive decision on where to cut. Oh. Again, I usually do all this at the same time. Hey, Kim. Welcome, welcome. She says, cool. Thanks. And pull that back. Again, line this up to the center as best as you can. And push that in and push that in. When choosing your paper that goes underneath, guys, I really try to choose one that's going to coordinate with the paper, because you will see little teeny tiny gaps of it. Not a whole lot, but some of it will gap through. So like if you use fluorescent orange paper and you're making a green Christmas tree, it's going to look weird. So I'm just saying, use something that will somewhat look nice. So this one would have done well with a white or a cherry cobbler, which is why I went with cherry cobbler. This is my trunk. Nobody's really going to see this, but I still like it to look like a trunk. And I just used some gold paper that was supposed to look like a tree. I've also just defaulted to early espresso. You could even emboss early espresso if you want. Again, I'm going to push this back. Like so. Make that cut. Do the same thing here. Push that back. And make that cut. Okay, I'm going to make the executive decision right now to plug back in my glue gun. You want to make sure that your glue gun is not too hot, actually, guys. Because if it gets too hot, it will melt the chocolate, and you don't want to melt your chocolate. You want it hot enough that the glue is coming out, but not so hot, one, that you're burning yourself, or that you're melting the chocolates. This is the hardest one for me to pinch because I have big fat fingers. So I'm going to try to use my pinkies. Again, giving that crease so I'm not fighting with it later. And then just putting those together. But this way you can just do it with cardstock. You don't have to worry about having old tear tapes and stuff. And it's always a consistent size. So we're like just about ready to start assembling this, and we're already only 35 minutes in, which is great. Plus I was talking in the beginning. There's my last one, and then this is that top chair that's going to go right on the top. Okay, you guys see how those pieces went in now? Okay. So now I'm going to start gluing this to the bases. This for me is probably the hardest, to try to keep it as centered as I possibly can. Let's see if my glue gun's ready yet. Oh, actually it is, because it was still warm. Perfect. So I'm going to bring in my glue gun. And you want to try to stay to the highest part of that chocolate. And I'm going to go pretty quick. And I'm just trying to stay towards the center. And sorry if my head gets in the way, guys. And that looks pretty darn good. Press, press, press. Press, press, press. Great. Now this is my next tier. I'm actually going to build it up onto this first. Again, on the highest part of your chocolate, you're just going to go as quickly as you can. And center that to the best of your ability. There we go. Oh, that's a little off, a little bit. Oh, it's going to be okay. Okay, and center, 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 center. This is getting kind of hot because I can see it's coming out quicker. And I want to off-center it a little bit, and I'll show you what I mean by that in just a second. So when I put this second tier down, let me show you what I did. I try to make sure that these chocolates were kind of hitting in the center here. It will visually make it look better. They won't all line up exactly, but some of them will. Okay, we're going to keep on keeping on. Again, I'm trying to go quickly because my glue gun will start getting really hot. I can already see smoke coming out, so I might actually let it take a break. But I'm going to try to do this as quickly as I can so that we can be done with this portion. And again, you guys probably are getting a better view of this than I do because you guys can see it from the top. And there we go. And ow, I got a little bit of glue excess here. I don't like that. Oh, I was able to wipe it off quickly. Yay, ow, burnt my finger. Okay, that's too hot now. Okay, I'm going to turn that off to let it cool a little bit. And you guys see I have a few little stringies here, but that's okay because if you let them cool correctly, they just come right off. See? I don't even know if those are big enough for you guys to see them. And I just take a quick look around, make sure I have no more stringies. So far, it's looking good. Okay, I still have to put the base on here, but before I do that, I'm going to let this cool a little bit, and then we plug it back in, and I'm going to work on my star. So we'll go ahead and grab my glue dots. And I am going to glue dot each one separately. And I like to use 2 glue dots just because, 2 stars, 1 on each side. Grab my scissors and my pokey tool. And then I this is where I have a little bit of wiggle room on how far up I want my star to go. Right about there, I think. Now, before I put the second glue dot on, this is where I'm going to come in and trim that excess piece of acetate off. Beautiful. Come with that second star. And it's just easier to do this at this point. Okay, I can't do that. Holding it tilted, sorry guys, because I want to line this up as beautifully as I can, if I can. There we go. And you can kind of see that glue dot. If that really worries you, put some bling on it. Put a rhinestone there, which I might very well do. I don't know yet. Okay. Now this should be a little bit cool enough that I can do my last part of my Christmas tree. Yep. And I get it good. This is where I want to get a good amount of glue because this is going to kind of stabilize it. So I don't care that I'm putting an excess amount of glue on that. And then that's going to go right on the center of my tree. Now this is how I used to make them, and I was done with them. Okay, but I felt like it wasn't enough, and sometimes they would want to get toppled over. They're actually pretty sturdy. Like you can see, I'm hitting this. It's a pretty sturdy, just like that. But I wanted to go the extra mile. I'm actually going to put that to the side. Now we're going to prep this piece that's really going to stabilize it. I'm also going to bring in a doily. We've sold doilies in the past, all different colors. I could flip it over. I could do a white doily. I don't know what kind of DSP I'm going to do yet. But I'm thinking white might contrast the tree nicely. I also have gold, but I don't want to use gold because I used gold on the trunk and then it'll just get lost into it. So I'm thinking white might be nice. I could also sponge this with cherry cobbler and keep going with that cherry cobbler effect. But I do need a piece of DSP, which I did not know which kind I wanted to go with yet. So I actually think I might go with a green. Let's see. Grab this piece right here. I'm thinking I might go with the green and then the white and then the tree. I think that's really festive. It really contrasts. I like that. So I'm going to take this piece and just cut this down to 4x4. Sorry if this is off camera, guys. I just don't know that I can get that all the way in. 4x4. I'm sure that was off camera because it was almost touching me. And then I'm just going to use liquid glue and I'm going to glue this down. I am going to test it though just to make sure it goes to all 4 edges. It does. Now at this point, since I decided I'm using green, if I really want to, I can go over here. And let's see, that looks actually like a shaded spruce. So I'm going to grab my shaded spruce ink pad. I could also go around with a gold, but for the sake of this, I'm just going to kind of tint the sides here. And hopefully this doesn't mess up my ink pad because I've never done it like this. Oh, you know what I should have done? It's actually getting on my ink pad. I almost touched that with my finger. That would have been so bad. I'm thinking, I don't know why I'm not doing this with like a blend. So let me clean that off because I'm getting cardboard on my ink pad and I don't like that. But I think I have a shaded spruce blend. Here we go. I do. This might be quicker. Yep. It is. It's actually a little darker than I was anticipating. I might not like this. We'll see. But I also do like to color the edges. Good enough. Lovely. Okay. I'll take my liquid glue. And you really want the glue all the way to the edges. If it spews out, just wipe it off. You really don't want this coming off. So all the way to the edges. And remember, at least for this, it's a coaster. So it's meant to absorb. So you do want a good amount of glue. so that it sticks. And will I have glue spewing over? Yes, I most definitely will, but it's going to be okay. Making sure that's lining up to all 4 edges nicely. And I'm actually going to put it upside down and press it. And this is usually where I put my contact info here at the bottom. Oop, and I still got it a little far over there. Beautiful. Come on, move over just a little. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to round off those edges. You could do it with a corner rounder, but you would have to make sure that you had a corner rounder that was the same, I think the word is bevel, as you whatever coaster you choose to use. Now again, I'll take some liquid glue. Actually, I could do that with gray too. Let's see. Let's see if I did the gray side. Oh, that's not bad either. Let me see. I don't know if you guys can even see that. That's the gray. And that's the white. I think I like the white. The white just pops so much better. Hey Deb, welcome, welcome. She says, hello, on my way from the vet. When I saw you were live, I was hoping you'd still be live when I got home. I'm happy to say I made it. Yay! Welcome, welcome. Yep, I'm still live. Oh, I do need to plug in my glue gun again. This is the only thing with my glue gun because it doesn't have like a regulated heat on it. I don't know that any glue guns do, but I constantly have to plug mine and unplug mine to keep it from overheating. Put a little glue on that. I'm not worried about the little edge pieces because really it's not going to come off. All right, like so. Press, press, press. And because I'm waiting for my glue gun to heat, I'm going to go ahead and add my info at the bottom. I got little stains here. I'm not worried about this. Other than people trying to look to see who sold it. If they even look, they're not going to look there. Okay, now let's bring my glue gun back in. Now is the last pièce de résistance. Again, this one I put a good amount of glue always on the trunk because this is what's stabilizing it and holding all the weight. Try to get those pieces down. And then just make sure that your star is facing forward. And this is why I like to use a glue gun, because it really gives it the structure that it needs, and it dries pretty quickly. And there we go. Look. That Christmas tree is not tipping over. Well, I just tipped it over on purpose, but how cute is that? If you had little train set DSP from before, or a little scene, you can even add to that. But yeah, that is basically my Christmas tree. And we did that from start to finish. It took me, what? I'm at 48 minutes, guys, for that Christmas tree. And it's beautiful. So I have like a bunch more of these to make. I sell these anywhere $10 to $15, depending on who and where I'm selling them. If you are a craft fair person, they sell very nicely. Then I just put it in a nice little cello bag. Get that in there. You tie it with a nice little string, and I'm going to make a little tag for it as well. Probably with the matching piece of DSP that was left over, so it's got a matching tag. Who would not want to get that for Christmas, guys? I'm just saying. And you can do these in all different colors. Like, this is more what I would say is more like female-ish kind of Christmas tree. But remember, I'm going to pull back out all those other colors. You can totally do them in beautiful greens. And it could be it's a great masculine gift as well. And it wasn't hard, guys. It took me like we'd say about 45 minutes. But keep in mind, that is also, I was sitting here chit-chatting and talking and all that good jazz. So, I'm going to move, actually, this stuff out of the way. And it's time for a mystery card raffle. And the word for today's mystery card raffle is going to be, tree. Or Christmas tree, or Xmas tree, whatever. But it's got to have tree in there somewhere. Because that is what we need. A beautiful Christmas tree. Did you guys like this? I hope you guys did. And I will post pictures and the video link. I've decided I'm going to do that once a week because it does take a little bit of time to get those video links set up. And so I'm only going to do that once a week. So every week what I'll do is I will download videos, I will upload the links, and update pictures for what I've done throughout the week. Okay? So let me go ahead and get the raffle tickets out. This is one of my favorite projects to make for Christmas. Because who doesn't love chocolate? I'm just saying. Nobody doesn't love chocolate. Kids love chocolate. Adults love chocolate. Co-workers love chocolate. Everybody loves chocolate. And if it doesn't want to be Christmassy, you can do it in other color themes. Like if you have somebody that's a coworker that you want to give them a gift for the holidays, you can make them that and don't do Christmas colors. Make it purple, make it yellow, make it look like a real tree, and just don't put a star at the top. Put like a thanks at the top or whatever you want at the topper. Or no topper. Just make it not Christmas theme, and then it's just a gift for somebody who maybe doesn't celebrate Christmas. So, just trying to give you guys ideas. Okay, we got Kim Nolan, Deb Hickey, Sharon Vickery. And remember, I'm not tossing any of these. I'm now saving these. And at the end of my Christmas countdown on Christmas, I'm going to do a raffle and pull some more names. See, who else do we have? Sharon Woost. I think it's funny that both my Sharons almost always pop up one after another. And they don't know each other. Or at least I don't know if they know each other, but they're in different states. So, Margene Nation Susset. Let's see, who else do we have? Chris Ronkin. And Debbie Warden. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Got so many people unraveling over here. Let me unravel a little bit. Chris Ronkin, Debbie Warden. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? I think I got everybody. Just to recap, I got Kim Nolan, Sharon Vickery, Deb Hickey, Sharon Vickery, Sharon Woost, Margene Nation Sussex, Chris Ronkin, and Debbie Warden. Did I miss anybody? If I did, please let me know while I'm folding these up. Oh, this one got a little bit of extra floof. So I have been super excited. I prepped all this last night, and I was going to start making them, and I was like, no, this has to be my life for tomorrow. And again, we're doing the countdown to Christmases, so that is my goal, to go live every single day until Christmas. We'll see, God willing, that it works. And I made it through the whole live without having a coughing fit. Woo, woo, praise the Lord. I still need to drink some water, though. Because I feel like I'm starting to sound like a frog. Here we go. Here we go. Are there any Christmas frog stories? I heard there's Christmas spider stories. Let's see. Sharon Vickery said, I sent a friend request. Aren't we already friends? I can accept the new one. That's so funny. but I would go in and accept your friend request. I thought we were already friends. Virtual friends. Unless she sent that to somebody else. Oh, Sharon sent Sharon. Oh, Sharon. Okay, I get it. Sharon sent Sharon a friend request. So funny. I'm like, don't we gonna have to be friends? You take my glasses all the time. Alright, last one, guys. Last one. Okay, now I need to get my happy smiley face. Maybe I should make a Christmas tree one. And get those all mixed up and unconnected. Alright. We've got 2 in the running. Put those 2, actually put those over here. 2 in the running, guys. 2 in the running. And 1 clear winner. Sharon says, spent the day with Tani making the 6 cards. Woohoo! Yay, I hope you guys like them. Drum roll, please. The winner of today's mystery card raffle is... Margine Nation says it! Woohoo! You are on a roll, Margine. On a roll. Congratulations, Margine, for winning the mystery card raffle. And I will put you on my little stack here so I can get those mailed out. And again, I'm glad that you guys liked this Christmas tree. And hopefully you guys will rewatch it and try to put it together. I did my best to give you guys all the measurements and show you guys how to cut them. So, hopefully somebody will remake them. And again, you can do that with glue or glue dots, but I promise you, if you have the patience to use a glue gun to assemble this, it is the best, most sturdiest way to go. Like I said, I've never had one fall apart. Bye-bye, my divas. Ta-ta for now.